Hello there. I'm George Putnam. I'd like to begin with a fact. A simple yet shocking fact.
This is the best tier list on YouTube, the best Vermintide tier list on YouTube. It might be the best video that's ever been created. Guaranteed. My dad works at Vermintide and he looked over this list and he verified that every single pick was 100% factual. So, if you do want a tier list and you want the most accurate, best tier list that's ever been conceived, you have come to the right place. Now, when it comes to the ranking system itself, I have removed the D tier completely, as D does have a negative connotation, and it is true that there are no bad careers in this game. They are all fun, they are all unique, and to a certain extent viable. So, we're going to remove D tier. We're going to start at C tier. However, we are also going to rename C tier to the high level gamer tier. Because if you are maining these characters in the high level gamer tier, it is because you are, in fact, a high level gamer, probably an esports star, probably drink G Fuel, probably get lots of women, probably sitting here watching this in a gamer chair with an orthopedic cushion, the whole package. So, if your main career is in the high level gamer tier, congratulations. B tier, we will also rename. We're going to rename this the Bravery tier. Careers in this tier, they don't require the same amount of skill as the high level gamer tier. However, they require something more important, and that is bravery. So that's what we're going to do with B tier. A tier, it remains A tier, S tier, traditional. Now, after all that being said, if you are looking at the results and you do feel tears welling in the side of your eyes, whether it be from anger or whether it be from pain, because I have said that your career, your beloved career that you main all day, is not as high in a tier as you may have anticipated, just know that this simply means that you are a better and more accomplished gamer than me, and it is by the sheer tyranny of your skill that you're able to overcome and to make any career viable. So, feel pride, don't have a cry. Let's get into it. Let's have a look. Let's do some rankings. Okay, so of course we start off with our highly skilled top tier gamer tier. Now, these guys, high skill ceiling to play well, no team support, very low clutch ability. I actually rate clutch ability higher than I rate team support. And who we're going to put in? We're going to put in Outcast Engineer. Outcast Engineer. Very fun to play. However, in my opinion, probably the most lacking career in the game in terms of actual utility. Simply put, low mobility, low survivability, little team support. I mean, he can boost range power of nearby allies by 10%, but I mean, that's pretty unsubstantial. Very, very high upkeep requirement to have his ult be effective. And on top of that, not the best ult, really. I mean, it's a gun, it shoots, it's fun, but I mean, he can do a tremendous amount of damage. That's 100% to be sure. Solo patrols, monsters, etc. But so can a lot of careers. And the difference is that most of those careers don't require a blood sacrifice at the altar of friendly fire just to do so. So, I mean, if you can stay alive, if you can manage to not eviscerate your team, he could be great. But he is only for the top tier gamer. So, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I'm sorry, Outcast Engineer, and moving on. And next career that I am placing in top tier gamer level tier is Pyromancer. I just made a video on Pyromancer, so I've been playing her a lot, and I mean, she is very, very fun to play. However, much like Outcast Engineer, she can do an unholy amount of DPS, but she is let down in two key areas, that being no team support, no damage reduction. In my opinion, just let her boost her team's crit chance or something like that. Let her slap on some type of damage reduction, or perhaps give her a unique weapon with some defensive capabilities. I don't know, something. As it currently stands, she is amazing at increasing excess death rates in rats. And I mean, if you are top tier level gamer, you do not really need damage reduction. So if that's you, more power to you. And may your burning head ring true and actually hit your intended target and not that slave rat on the other side of the map. Now, next in the bottom tier. Did I say bottom tier? Because I meant top tier level gamer tier is Bounty Hunter. Now, I do have a soft spot for Bounty Hunter, as he was the first career that I actually played in this game, and he is excellent at what he does, i.e. shoot things. One of the best boss killers in the game, especially if he can consistently pop those blessed headshots. His only real downside is low melee utility, and he can get overrun quite easily. Of course, he also has really no team support whatsoever, no real easy ability to clutch. I might be a bit harsh on the old helmet boy, putting him down in the top level gamer tier, as he does have decent damage reduction. However, no clutch move, So he goes down here. Yeah, I mean, get over it. Also, I needed 3 people down here. I couldn't just have 2. So he goes down in here. If you do play him, though, you are a Renaissance man, a true Renaissance man, and more power to you. So now we're going to move into the Bravery tier. Now, these careers, like top tier gamer tier, they're typified by high damage, high skill requirement. However, they do have greater team support and or clutch ability. Most have decent damage reduction. However, with all these careers, to get the most out of them, you're still going to be dancing on that razor's edge of death and glory with little way of getting out of a sticky situation. So that being said, first off, in this tier, we have Zealot. Zealot, I believe, really typifies the Bravery tier. To max out his potential, you need max stacks, and to max your stacks, you need no health. So he falls into one of those Russian roulette careers where you're constantly on the edge. Very hectic gameplay, very fun to play when you balance that risk reward correctly. And if you do it right, you get paid. If you do it wrong, you spend half your time watching the game from a third person viewpoint. If you can strike that balance, there's nothing better than rushing into a horde with 0 health to try to get that THP stacked back up and just chopping away like a lunatic at light speed. Very fun, very good. Zealot, huge DPS. He can be very, very tanky, 150 base health, all his damage reductions. He can tank with the best of them if he's needed. He's a great career. Only real letdown is his 0 team support. And also, I don't trust people who don't wear shoes in public. And it is for this reason and this reason only, he goes into the Bravery tier. So, next up in Bravery tier is the angry lawnmower himself, Slayer. Slayer can get insane damage. He can quick swap weapons to break certain weapons. If you didn't know, melee only careers can dual slot weapons, meaning you can quick swap to chain the first attack in a sequence. A good one is probably Warpick, Angry Miner build, just chaining the first light attack. But that's breaking things. So without talking about breaking things and maintaining our nice stuff, I mean, without that, still huge, big DPS. He can use the throwing axes for a little bit of versatility, which is also great. Also incredibly fun to play and worth it just to hear him shout. Leap is great for clutching, along with his talents like Impatient and No Escape, which allow him to move very, very quickly, also allowing him to run around, slicing, dicing, escaping, edging closer and closer to RSI with every playthrough. He is let down by his 0 team support, and I'm tempted to put him higher just because I like him so much. However, he's Bravery tier, and he is only played by true Chads. Then, we have the first elf career off the block. We're going to go with Waystalker. Huge damage, great burst damage, great boss damage, easily the most attractive career in the game. However, even though she haunts my dreams, low survivability, low team support, I mean, she can heal either herself or the team up to 50%, but almost no one runs it. They run Spirit Arrow so they can spam her ult, and God bless them. Why wouldn't they? Of course you're going to do that. She is one of those careers where in the right hand, she is insane, and she is capable of some insane damage numbers, but no clutch on the ult, no team support. So I'm tempted to A, but she's in Bravery. She's Bravery all the way. She's risk, she's reward. Then rounding out our Bravery tier, we have Purple Elf, the Shade. Lacking behind Waystalker in terms of attractiveness, I think, on account of being purple. So she basically all else. Big damage potential, can absolutely solo patrols, one of the verified boss stompers. She's very, very capable. No team support though, apart from just killing things very, very well. But you know what she can do, and she's bordering on that A tier. She can clutch like it ain't nobody's business with her invisibility. Oh, so big numbers, very good at clutching, tight pants, not attractive because purple. She's going around off the Bravery tier. Now we get into the A tier. So all these careers, very, very, very good. They can put out the big damage numbers, they can clutch, they can support, they can hold you and tell you that everything's going to be all right. And that is what is most important. So let's take a look. And my first pick is going to be Kruger in Kruger's first career. And we're going to go with Foot Knight. Foot Knight, very, very solid career. One of the best, if not the best, clutch class in the game. Everyone always talks Handmaiden. Foot Knight might be better than Handmaiden. With his hero time talent, probably one of the best talents in the game, and he can become a clutch master. He can also trivialize patrols and just do the old Chris Hansen and make him take a seat. Great team support. His passive gives that 15% damage reduction to the team. He can boost a single ally's damage reduction by 50%, which is absolutely bonkers. He also has access to the handgun, so he can do some decent sniping. He's also one of those careers where all his talents are good. So you can basically you can't go wrong. Just pick anything in his talent and you'll have a solid build. So he's pretty user-friendly in that regard, and also that offers up your build variety. Probably only being held out of S tier in my opinion, just lacking a smidge, and I mean a little schmidge in the damage department. But all in all, very, very good rounded career, tremendous mustache, and I think he's A class all day long. Next up, and get your pitchforks ready, boyos, I am going Battle Wizards. I know, why am I putting her in A class? Surely she is S class. Everyone says she is S class. I'm crying right now. I'm ripping at the computer screen. Why have you done this to me? Give me answers. Well, it's a great question, and I don't have a great answer, but seriously, I mean, let's just talk her downsides because nobody else does. She's the enemy of frame rates everywhere. You can't see anything when the entire screen is burning. She limits everybody's ability to get temp health by immolating everything before you can even get close. Personally, I love seeing a battle wizard with any staff apart from a coruscation staff for this exact reason. I mean, true Chads roll beam staff or fireball. And I mean, look, she is S class. I just wanted to upset people. And I mean, let's just put her in S class so we don't have any crying. But yeah. Okay, so now we're going back to A. We've gone off the rails a bit here, but we're going back to A tier. Okay, so back to A tier. We're going to the elf. We're going to Sister of the Thorn. Sister of the Thorn, invaluable member of any team. I've sung her praises before in many videos. Her passive for boosting the entire team's healing, just so good. You can then take Boon of Shalia, get huge healing, or actually make Nat Bond actually useful. Very, very good passive. Her walls, I used to hate the walls. Now I love them. I'm very fond of just going into random quick play lobbies and just spamming walls everywhere. Deepwood Staff, very, very useful weapon, giving her ability to deny multiple Chaos Warriors at the click of a button. Very, very strong. She can also take the jab, she can take the longbow, she has the great elf melee weapons, and on top of all that, she can stomp the heck out of everything. So she's great support, can stomp and put out massive big damage. With the right build, she can also even melt monsters. I mean, take Briar's Malice, which gives crits on your ult, puts Scrounger on the jab, which gives ammo back on crits, stack a bunch of crits, and then auto-fire them into a monster, going full javelin gun. She's A tier all day long. Now, next up, we got Ranger Vet. Ranger Vet, another support, heavy, very useful career. Pair him with the Masterwork Pistol and the Hammer of your choosing, and he is absolutely mental. He can lay waste to just about anything. It's basically comical how fast he can dispatch monsters, patrols, Chaos Warriors with that Masterwork Pistol. That mighty Glock. And the best part in doing all that, he's dropping ammo, he's dropping bombs, he can be duping bombs, he can go invisible. In my opinion, invisible ults are the best for clutching, so that also makes him an incredible clutch class. I'd rate him S tier, but I think he falls, which everyone else does, but I think he falls down 2 departments. 1, slightly lacking in melee, and 2, if he doesn't have the Glockwork Pistol, which means if you don't have that DLC, he just isn't that good. So with the Glockwork Pistol, crazy OP, and he falls into S tier. Without the Glockwork Pistol, he's A tier. Then we got the last elf on the list. We're going to go with Handmaiden. One of, if not the best clutch class in the game, up there with Foot Knight. They basically compete with it. Her aura, that increases stamina regen for the entire team by 100%. Very, very good. Give her the Spear and Shield, Wraith Walk talent, which lets her dodge through enemies and take the invis on her ult, and you're basically unkillable, and you can basically clutch any situation. Pop a purple pot with Decanter on the charm, and you can basically zoom an entire map, which is hilarious. Why have I not got her in S tier? Only because, again, just like, in my opinion, Ranger Vet, she's slightly lacks in the melee damage, and not everyone has access to the Spear and Shield because they don't have the DLC. And if you don't take the Spear and Shield, I think Spear and Shield, she's like S class all day long. Great damage and unkillable. Without the Spear and Shield, she's down just, and Moonfire Bow as well, just down just a little bit, and so she's A tier. So that's my opinion. A tier, Spear and Shield with Moonfire Bow, S tier. Next up, and I'm going to go with my boy, Huntsman Kruger. Now, Huntsman Kruger is so good, and I'm sick of pretending he's not. He gets so much hate. He's got this stupid meme running that everybody thinks that he's one of the worst careers in the game. He's not. He's one of the best snipers in the game. He can destroy patrols. He can destroy elites, bosses, absolutely everything. He's got awesome unique weapons. He's got the spear. Awesome. Legendary longbow. Awesome. Also, he can clutch with the best of them because he can go invis. His ult is an absolute epic talent. He can put out absolutely insane damage while at the same time going invisible, meaning that he can clutch. He's got awesome damage reduction. The only real downside is he's lacking in the team support. I mean, he does have a 5% crit chance on his aura that he can give out, so it's not like he's got 0 team support, and he does have the clutch ability. and the boss killing, sniping, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, if he had a little bit more team support, in my opinion, he's S tier all day long. However, because he doesn't, he's going to fall into A tier. But I'm sick of people bad-mouthing him. He's an absolutely epic career. If you haven't had a run on Huntsman, get out there and play him now. Now, also in A tier, I'm going to put Ironbreaker. Ironbreaker, I mean, what have I not said about Ironbreaker before? He's an unkillable legend, massive survivability, great team support, and that he can boost power to the whole team. He can use his ult to pull aggro on entire hordes of enemies and allow massive DPS opportunities. He looks really cool. He has epic armor, great weapons. He also gets very often gets relegated into the low damage box, which is, I mean, it's kind of true, but he makes up for it in other areas. For instance, being alive, I mean, provides a massive boost to your damage output. I mean, if you're dead, you do 0 damage. That's a fact. So, I mean, take Troll Hammer, take Drake 5 pistols, axes. You can grab a green circle any day of the week. You know what? I'm tempted to put him in S tier just because I love the Ironbreaker so much. And you know what? I ain't going to put him in S tier. Is that based on merit? Probably not. But anyway, moving on. And next up, we're going to go with Unchained in the A tier. Unchained, absolutely epic. She can do huge damage. She has very good survivability if you run Bomb Bomb and Abandon. She has great team support if you run Bomb Bomb, and then you can heal your team for THP. You can also run Enfeebling Flames, making flaming enemies deal 30% less damage, which the whole team can take advantage of. Take the Flaming Flail, and you can just basically stagger lock patrols with a heavy 1 at high overcharge, which is very, very good. My only real problem with Unchained is I feel that she doesn't have much build variety. Bomb Bomb and Abandon and the Flail are just so good that once you do them, you don't want to actually use anything else. Yeah, I think if she had a little bit more build variety, I would move her into S tier, but she stays in A tier, and that's it. She's going to round out our A tier, and now we move into S tier. And these are the careers that transcend your typical rat murderers. These are the careers that, in my opinion, you cannot go wrong. They do it all. If you do fail any map while playing these careers, uninstall the game right now. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into it. The coveted S tier, and I'm going with, first off the bat, Salt Spire, Warrior Princess, aka the Warrior Priest, absolute unit of a man. A walking fridge, swinging a giant hammer, buffing the whole team while he does so. What is not to love? I mean, absolutely awesome talents and perks. 30% bonus to power versus super armor, amazing. 100% curse resistance. I mean, if you run in Legend or Chaos Ways, that is very, very useful. He can go invincible. I mean, he can go invincible. What more do you want, people? He can res from a distance. He can heal everyone in the team. He can give everyone in the team a 25% increase to extra stagger. He can give everyone 15% more health. Comet's Gift, just such a good talent. He can basically, you see someone get overheaded and just lose all their health in one fell swoop, and you can just res and revive them at the same time and get all their health back with one click. I mean, that is absolutely insane. He's awesome unique weapons, incredible support. He can clutch like crazy with his ult, either by just resing from a distance or using Unyielding Blessing to just run through anything. So good. And not only that, he can put, like, after being easily, in my opinion, the best support career in the game, he can put out some absolutely mental damage numbers. I mean, his only real downside, in my opinion, is he does move pretty slow for a melee-only career, but that's it. That's his really only little downside, and I mean, it's forgivable. He's S tier. He's S tier all day long. I mean, anytime that I do see a Warrior Priest in the lobby, I rejoice. I relish in Sigmar's blessings. So he's S tier. He's S tier all day. Moving along, and next in the Giga Chad tier, we have Kruger Mercenary, an absolute beast of a career. Has amazing damage output. He can snipe all day long. He has amazing team support, and that he can boost attack speed with his Strike Together talent. He can get everyone damage reduction with Walk It Off. But the best is he can res an entire party with one fell swoop with On Your Feet, mate. Such a good talent. I mean, talk about a clutch class. That's insane. People say it's not a good talent, and because if you take it, that you'll hog it and you won't use it liberally. You know how to get around that? Just use it. Spam it, dum. Who cares? Not to mention his ult as well knocks everybody on their ass and deals out THP. It's one of the best talents in the game. It's absolutely amazing. So he's great support. He's buffing attack speed. He's picking people up. He's giving out THP. And at the same time, he's just dissecting heads of everybody in the vicinity with an Executioner's Sword. Brilliant stuff. He's one of the best damage dealers. He can absolutely decimate patrols, hordes, everything. Perhaps lacking a little bit in his monster slaying. So that's it. Mercenary Kruger. He's S tier all day. Super versatile career. Very good career. And sticking with Kruger, let's go Grail Knight, the pride of Bretonia, the non-stop death machine, doing it for the Lady of the Lake. Such a good career. I remember the first time I ever played Grail Knight and I was just laughing maniacally, drunk on power as I just one-shotted Chaos Warriors with my ult and lopped off heads with everything inside. I mean, he has no range, no need. He's quick, he's powerful, he can block warp fire throwers blast with his shield. He slices, he dices like a gosh darn sledgehammer. He's an absolute unit. And apart from playing him and being able to live out insane power fantasies while I play him, he's what's got actually some of the best team support in the game with his quest. You can be dishing out power pots on the regular. My favorite thing to do now is run proxy on him, so we just keep getting those pots and then I'm just giving them to the entire team, boosting the entire team's DPS on the regular. Absolutely amazing stuff. So arguably the DPS champion, arguably the highest DPS carrier in the game. He has some of the best team support in the game. Maybe not the best clutch class, no real clutch talent. I mean, you could run Virtue with the Impetuous Knight and get that 35% movement speed on his ult if you really do need to, clutch a little bit more, but ain't no one running that. And you know what? They don't need to because you kill everything. You don't need to clutch if everything's dead. So, Grail Knight, he's my boy. If you are looking at the DLC careers, I would say start here. You will not be disappointed. He is super, super S tier all day long. And then finally, we have Witch Hunter Captain because, of course, huge DPS monster. I mean, he can insta-kill everything bar Chaos Warriors and monsters with a crit headshot. And you know how many times he can do crit headshots? All the time. Boosted crit chance. Basically, in the right hands, he can solo the game. There's nothing that he doesn't do well. Probably the best part, though, is his awesome team support. Mainly his tag. That tag, so good. Taggable enemies, so you tag an enemy, 20% bonus damage for 5 seconds. Unbelievably useful talent. I mean, let's say that you were a 2-shot headshot kill on a taggable enemy. That Witch Hunter Captain tag might now make it a 1-shot, meaning that your efficiency in dispatching that particular enemy type is now increased by 100%. It's called mathematics, 20% into 100%. I don't know how it works. Maths is a mystery. Now, not only does he give everybody boosted crits when taggable enemies die, but he also does that 25% on the use of his ult. By the way, never take Fervency, which gives you guaranteed crits at the expense of no crits to the rest of your team. Everyone deserves a crit, you monster, okay? Everyone give the crits out. It's better for everyone gets the crits, okay? Witch Hunter Captain, he's one of those careers also that you rejoice if you see him on the tier because played well, he is absolutely insane and probably one of the most busted careers in the game. And that's it. That's the tier list. Not my usual type of thing. If you like this type of content, let me know. I'll make a tier list. I can make tier lists on anything. They're easy to make. I can make them all day. I just sit here talking about nonsense. It's great. I've got some other stuff coming out that's not tier lists. So subscribe if you want to see other content that is, features me rambling on and some light entertainment and a couple of light jokes. So if that's up your alley, subscribe. If not, whatever. Laters.